Greetings everyone and welcome to my Pokemon anime rewrite part 3. If you missed the last part, go watch it. Anyway, now on to the video. Episode 10 begins with the group hearing a Pokemon cry. Ash assumes it's a strong Pokemon and runs towards the cry as fast as he possibly can. Ash gets even more excited when he sees a Pokemon as Charmander. Ash is about to battle him till Brock stops him and points out that the Pokemon looks injured. Ash stops Pikachu and goes over to talk to Charmander. And it turns out that Charmander is waiting for his trainer, who said he would return. With that, the group goes to the Pokemon Center where we see a group of guys gassing up a blue-haired guy on all of his Pokemon, particularly his intense-looking Eevee and his serious-looking Fearow, calling him Damien. One of the guys asks Damien about a Charmander. Damien brags how he used to have one, but it lost to a Tentacool, so he left it on a rock and then laughs about it. This angers Ash and Brock demands that Damien goes back for Charmander. Damien scoffs and sends out a Shelter to clamp down on Brock's arm, calling Brock a loser. Ash sends out his Bulbasaur to use Vine Whip on the Shelter, knocking it off Brock's arm. Enraged, Damien tells Shelter to use Tackle, but it doesn't do much damage to Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur knocks the Shelter out with a second Vine Whip. Damien screams at Ash, Brock, and sends out a Fearow, which knocks out Bulbasaur in a couple of pecks. Ash is about to have Pikachu battle until Nurse Joy breaks up the fight, allowing Damien to escape. Ash, Misty, and Brock rush to retrieve a Charmander. It's not only threatened by a driving rain that could extinguish its flame, but it's also under the attack of a flock of Pidgeotto. Fortunately, Pikachu made with Pidgeotto scatter so that Charmander could be saved. They return to the Pokemon Center. Nurse Joy says that Charmander requires an overnight stay. Charmander is put on a hospital bed, and Ash's Mankey comes out of a Pokeball. Stay with Charmander while he recovers. When our friends wake up the next morning, however, Charmander is gone and so is Mankey. Ash and the group start looking for Mankey. They fall into a trap set by Team Rocket. While Charmander is walking back to the rock, he runs into Ash's Mankey, who is worried about him and offers him an apple, which Charmander refuses at first, then gobbles it down 3 seconds later. Mankey sees that her trainer and his friends are in danger, so she runs to help, and Charmander follows her, seeing her as some sort of big sister. Mankey tries to fight off Team Rocket's Pokemon, but is struggling in a 3-on-1 fight. Charmander is hiding behind a bush, seeing that Mankey and the other people helped him are in danger. So he jumps into action with Dick knocking both Ekans and Koffing out, leaving an opening for Mankey to save Pikachu, and he was a low kick on Meowth and launches him to an Ember by Charmander, allowing Pikachu to blast off Team Rocket with a Thunder Shock. Ash offers Charmander a spot on his team, which Charmander is about to accept until Damien shows up, claiming that he came back for Charmander like he said he would. Brock points out how Damien left Charmander to die, while Damien admits it, and thanks Ash for toughening Charmander up. Damien sends out Fearow to try to catch Charmander, and Ash gets behind Charmander and the two sync up to defeat Damien's Fearow. Damien runs off, promising to get his revenge. Ash throws a Pokeball at Charmander, and Charmander willingly jumps inside, capturing himself. The episode comes to a close. Now on to episode 11. Episode 11 begins with a group walking near a house where Ash sees what looks like a wild crab, and he runs over and tries to catch it until he hears it speak. The Krabby turns around, revealing it has a human face. Krabby explains that he is Bill, the true blue Pokemaniac. He explains that he fused himself with a wild Krabby with his teleportation device, and that he needs help to reverse the effects. Brock offers to help start up the machine, and then a wild Pidgeotto grabs Bill and flies off of him. Ash and Misty chase after the Pidgeotto while Brock stays behind to fix the machine. Eventually, Pidgeotto stops at his nest, getting ready to eat Bill. Ash is about to command his Pikachu to use Thunder Shock, but Bill tells Ash that would hurt him badly. Instead, Ash sends out Charmander. Charmander starts the battle by using Scratch on Pidgeotto to lure it away from its nest. Pidgeotto hits back with Gust. Charmander uses Ember on Pidgeotto, cinching its wings. Pidgeotto flees with Whirlwind. Ash is disappointed that the Pidgeotto got away, but at least Bill is okay. Misty has her Stormy make an ice slide for Bill to get down safely. Bill is taken to his cottage and Brock can separate Bill and the Krabby. Bill rewards the trio by giving them tickets for the SSN crew. Ash doesn't really care, but Brock and Misty seem excited. Episode 11 ends there, and now on to episode 12. Episode 12 begins on a cold and foggy day where the group is lost but seemingly close to Vermilion City. Ash is told to go get firewood, and he reluctantly goes to get some. While searching for firewood in the foggy woods, Ash and Pikachu discover a bunch of prep school kids bullying a classmate named Joe. They're all students at Pokemon Technical Institute, which offers classes that allow trainers to enter the Pokemon League without getting badges. Misty run onto the scene having overheard the whole thing, but Joe says the rough treatment is necessary very soon will be strong enough to graduate. Still, Ash doesn't like the idea and demands to know the person responsible for this tutoring program. Joe shows Ash and Brock a picture of a brunette girl that Ash finds attractive, but Brock does not seem to be as smitten. Misty crankily asks Joe why he keeps the picture, and Joe explains that he hates the way she treats him, but loves the way she looks. Misty sighs and swears to battle her. Joe makes fun of Misty, claiming that water Pokemon are weak and that he easily beats them in the simulation with his Weepin' Bell. Misty challenges Joe to a battle and easily beats his Weepin' Bell with her Poliwag. This gets the attention of a student council head, Giselle. Giselle chastised Joey for his incompetence, explaining that the simulations barely teach you anything about real battles, which is why Misty has more experience. Misty smiles a bit, then Giselle calls her ugly and brags about how she can easily beat her. The battle begins and Giselle sends out Rhyhorn, manages to beat Misty's Poliwag with a Thunder, all because Poliwag got too close. Giselle continues to make fun of Misty and also throws some jabs at Ash for not having 6 Pokemon and only having 2 badges, and that his Pokemon are barely level 22, and proclaims that she can tell all of this because she's Giselle and she is the best. He's mad. He is secretly more mad about Giselle turning into Brock and Misty. He won't admit that though. Ash and Giselle go to the playground to have a 2v2 battle. Giselle starts by sending out an Eevee and Ash sends out Charmander. Giselle calls for Tail Whip to lower Charmander's defense, and Ash has Charmander do the same with Leer. Giselle calls for Quick Attack, telling Eevee to aim for Charmander's gut. The attack hits, which makes a normally calm Charmander angry. Ash calls for Ember, which hits Eevee right in the chest. The attack burns her. Giselle's Eevee seems less confident now that her fur is burned. Giselle calls for Tail Whip, but Eevee isn't able to get out to move fast enough before Charmander uses Dig. Giselle tells Eevee to stand her ground. Eevee takes a full power dig and responds with a sand attack, slightly blinding Charmander and making his scratch attack easier to dodge, leaving an opening for Eevee to get in another quick attack or two. Seems like Charmander is going to lose, but Ash tells Charmander to hold in an Ember and let it build up. Giselle is confused by this and makes fun of Ash for seemingly wasting his turn and calls for Quick Attack. As Eevee is about to hit Charmander, Ash tells Charmander to let it out right when Eevee is about to dash into him, releasing a huge point-blank flame right into Eevee's face, knocking her out. Charmander is tired after battle, so he just takes a nap, and Ash nervously laughs as he returns him to his Pokeball. Giselle crankily proclaims that she'll win this time because she's Giselle, and she's the best, as she sends out her strongest Pokemon, Ivysaur. She mentions that her parents flew to Pallet Town at 4 in the morning to get this Pokemon. Ash grins and tells Pikachu that it's his turn. Pikachu jumps out onto the battlefield and grins. Pikachu hits Ivysaur with a Thunder Shock, and Ivysaur responds with Vine Whip. Ash tells Pikachu to use Quick Attack, which hits, but this allows Ivysaur to catch Pikachu with a Vine Whip and slam Pikachu into the ground, and hold him in place with her Vine. Ash tells Pikachu to use Thunder Wave, and he does so, slowing Ivysaur down and making it easy for Pikachu to escape by using Quick Attack. Eventually, Pikachu knocks out Ivysaur with a Thunder Shock, and Giselle starts crying, feeling embarrassed, losing to somebody with only 2 badges like Ash. Brock comforts her and explains that Pokemon are not just tools for battle, they're our friends. Also points out how Giselle didn't fully pick up on her Pokemon's anxieties, that she needs to truly bond with her Pokemon if she wants to be a good trainer. This inspires Giselle to travel Kanto on her own and take on the gym challenge. She parts ways with his school and waves bye to Ash and the gang. Ash and the gang walk off, and the journey continues as the episode comes to a close. And that also concludes this episode of our Pokemon anime rewrite. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you next time. Toodles!